Chocolate, Food of the Gods by Caitlin M. Johnson, illustrated by Javier Montiel. Field Trip Literary. Schedule 6 p.m. Activity. Board the bus. 7 a.m. Leave school. 10 a.m. Arrive at the cocoa plantation. 10:30 to 12 p.m. Visit the plantation and see how cacao is grown. 10 a.m. Arrive at the cacao plantation. 10:30 to 12 p.m. Visit the plantation and see how cacao is grown. 12 to 12:30 lunch break. 12:30 to 2 tour of the chocolate production plant. Schedule 2 p.m. activity. Board the buses for visit to museum. 3:30 p.m. arrive at museum. 3:30 to 5 p.m. visit the Museum of Chocolate. 5 to 6 dinner. 6 p.m. board the buses to go home. 9 p.m. arrive back at school. Miss Salvia is talking to her class about the field trip they will be going on this Friday. Miss Salvia: on Friday we'll be taking a field trip to a chocolate plantation. All students should be at school at 6:30. Here is the itinerary for the trip. Field trip. Educational trip where students can learn something. Plantation. Large farm in the tropicals where they cultivate things like coffee, sugar, etc. Miss Salvia is giving her class some instructions for the trip. On Friday, wear comfortable clothes and shoes since we will be doing a lot of walking. Jeans, t-shirt, and tennis shoes are probably the most comfortable. Remember, it will be very hot, but in the morning and evening it may get cool, so please bring a jacket or a sweater. You should also pack lunch and snacks. We will give you water throughout the day. We will provide dinner for you after our visit to the museum. If you have any special dietary needs, let us know in the permission slip below. Bring a notebook and pen for taking notes. Bring in a backpack to keep everything in. You can bring a cell phone, MP3 player, or another electric device. Make sure that you wear sunscreen. You can bring money to buy souvenirs, but please don't bring more than 100 pesos. Permission slip. Form that a parent must sign to give a student permission to attend an event. Sunscreen. Cream you put on your skin to protect it from burning in the sun. Souvenirs. Things that you can buy when you visit a place. Permission slip for field trip. Name of student, address, name of parent or guardian, phone number, home, cell phone. Destination. Cacao plantation. Date. November 23rd. Time 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Transportation. Bus. School bus. Cost 200 pesos. Please read and answer the following questions. Does your child have any medical condition? Yes, no. Does your child have any special dietary needs? Is your child allergic to anything? If so, what is it? Please use the space below. In case of an emergency, please contact name, phone number, signature, date. This is the permission slip that your parents or a guardian needs to complete and sign so you can go on the field trip. If you don't return the slip signed by Monday, you will not go to this trip. Also, you need to pay the amount indicated by Thursday. The fee is 200 pesos, including the entry to the museum, transportation, dinner, and water. The school will provide chaperones for the trip. Guardian. Person who is legally responsible for a minor. Chaperone. Someone who accompanies and supervises a young group of young people. It's Friday and the students are in the bus. Miss Salvia is talking to them. The first stop on our trip will be the chocolate plantation. We will walk around the tropical rainforest, so there are some rules you need to follow. Don't leave the group. It's easy to get lost in the rainforest. Put on sunscreen. It's very hot there. Wear a hat and sunglasses. Take a bottle of water with you to avoid dehydration. Be respectful of the guide and pay attention to him. Don't run, push, or do anything dangerous. Take notes. This is an educational field trip, so we have given you a handout with some questions that you will need to answer. Handout at the plantation. What color are the cacao pods when they are ready? Draw a picture of what a cacao pod looks like. How much chocolate can one tree produce in a year? Page 1. Rainforest. Area characterized by dense vegetation, lots of rain, and high temperatures. We have arrived at the plantation, everyone. Please take your belongings and exit the bus. Does anyone have any questions? Laura. Miss Salvia, where is the bathroom? Yes, the bathrooms are over there. Use the bathrooms if you need to because there aren't any bathrooms out in the rainforest. Everyone ready? Everyone, let's go. Students are at the plantation and the guide is with them. Please follow me. Here you can see the cacao trees. The cacao pods grow out of the trunk of the tree. The cacao pods look a little like a football. What color are the pods that those men are cutting off the tree? Yellow and orange. That's correct. When the pods are yellow or orange, they are ready. Let's open a cacao pod and look inside. What can you see? It looks like white cotton balls. That's right. This is what cacao beans look like before we process them. Hugo, that doesn't look like chocolate. Guide. These beans will go through many processes before we have chocolate. One cacao tree will produce about 20 to 30 pods a year, and that will make only 500 grams of chocolate. That's not very much. I can eat that in one day. Visiting the plantations, the students had their lunch. You have 30 minutes for lunch. Don't leave this area. There is water here if you want. Main stem of a tree. Cotton, soft white substance that is used to make clothing. After lunch, the students got back on the bus and headed to the processing plant. At the processing plant, we will see how the white cacao beans become chocolate. Since this is a plant, there are some rules we must follow. Everyone must wear a coverall. You need to wear a face mask. Don't touch anything in the plant, it could be dangerous. Stay with your partner. You can't take a notebook or pens into the plant, so you'll need to pay close attention to the guide. Before we enter the plant, look at the questions on page 2 of the handout so you know what to focus on. Handout at the chocolate processing plant. What two processes in making chocolate are done outside before the cacao beans enter the plant? How many steps are needed to make cacao beans into chocolate? What are they? Describe them. Page 2. The class is at the processing plant. They are listening to the guide. The first steps to make chocolate start outside. Here you can see that they open the cacao pod and extract the white cacao beans. Then they put them in boxes with holes so that liquid can evaporate. The cacao beans are fermented for 5 to 6 days and the beans change colors from white to brown. The next step is to dry the beans in the sun. Now everyone please put on these coveralls and face masks. We are going into the processing plant. The first step is to remove the outside shell from the cacao beans. This machine separates the shell and the inside, called the nib. The second step is to roast the nibs. They become dark and start to really taste like chocolate. Can we taste them? Sure. Yuck, that's horrible. Well, it tastes like chocolate, but it has no sugar. Now the third step is to grind the nibs. During the process, we get a chocolate colored liquid. That looks delicious. The fourth step is to remove some of the cacao butter from the liquid so we get two products, cacao and cacao butter. Then we make blocks of chocolate from the cacao. They are pulverized into cacao powder. In step 5, we mix cacao powder, milk, sugar, some of the cacao butter, and vanilla to make what you all know as chocolate. Try some. Finally, chocolate. Shell, hard exterior of a seed. Roast, brown or dry something by exposing it to heat. Grind, reduce something to fine particles. Cacao, powder made from cacao beans that have been roasted. It's 2 o'clock and the students are about to board the bus again. We will be leaving for the museum in 10 minutes. If you need to use the bathroom, do so now. Everyone needs to be on the bus by 2:10. Our next stop is the Museum of Chocolate. The museum has 3 areas: the cacao harvest, chocolate production, and the history of chocolate. We will start by checking out the history of chocolate. Please follow the museum rules. Don't run or make a lot of noise. Be respectful of the people visiting the museum. No cameras are allowed. Take your notebook and pen or pencil to take notes. Don't touch anything. Stay with the group. Here is the handout for this part of the field trip. You can take this with you into the museum. Handout at the Chocolate Museum. Who were the first people to discover cacao? What did the Aztecs use as money? Who usually drank chocolate in Mesoamerica? How was it prepared? Who first brought chocolate to Spain? How was chocolate prepared in Spain? Page 3. Harvest. Cut and collect the crop of cacao, coffee, sugar, etc. Check out. Examine. The students are at the museum. The guide is with them. Guide. Welcome to the Museum of Chocolate. We will start by learning about the history of chocolate. The Mayans were the first people to eat chocolate. They prepared a chocolate drink with water, chili peppers, cornmeal, and other ingredients. It wasn't sweet at all. That doesn't sound very good. The Aztecs discovered chocolate when they started trading with the Mayans. The cacao beans became so valuable that it was used as money to pay for things. In Aztecs' time, chocolate was usually only consumed by royalty or important people and was used during religious ceremonies. So normal people couldn't drink it? No. When Cortez conquered Mexico, he took some cacao to Spain. The people in Spain didn't like the flavor much, so they added sugar and cinnamon to make it taste better. People in Spain had known chocolate for almost 100 years before the people in the rest of Europe discovered it. So cacao went from Mexico to Spain and came back as the chocolate we know now. That's right. All of this from the little cacao tree, whose scientific name is Stimbroba cacao, which means food of the gods. Chili pepper, red hot pepper, cornmeal, meal grounded from corn, royalty, a person of royal lineage, cinnamon, aromatic spice.